Shri Ganeshaya Namah. Om Namah Shivaya. Shri Gurudevabhyo Namaha. Okay, so I'll start here. Whenever you have some question, you can ask me in between. So, prana, this is the term given for Vayu. And as you see in the picture of the slide, there's a figure of a human body, and there are 5 different categories of Vayus. So these are 5 Vayus, and let's start to understand. As any living being or any matter, the prana permeates in all. Without prana, there is nothing on this earth or nothing in this cosmos. And there are 2 different things. One is prana and second is pranic energy. So prana is a substantial part, a raw material. But when it is combined with some other elements, it creates energy. And with that energy, we function, our movement and entire body system. So prana is a very essential or important part in our being as per the yogic scriptures. Not modern this medical science and modern science, they don't talk much about it. They have not yet explored, but one day they will explore, because science is also progressing. The more science will progress, our ancient knowledge, yoga and spirituality, will be validated. This is my personal opinion and understanding. 40, 50 years before, they were not recognizing yoga and yogic sciences, but gradually they are recognizing what is yoga, and they are doing research on yoga and so on. So one day they will understand what is this prana and other 5 vayus, and they will tell in their own way about all this. Okay, so it literally is, we can translate Vayu as wind, because there is no English word for Vayu. In Hindi, we have, in Sanskrit, we have, for wind, we have another word for, and Vayu is synonym, which we use only for our inner air, the air through which we function. So Vayu is very special word in Sanskrit, and there is no translation in English, but close word in English is wind, implying unrestricted and universal movement. You cannot restrict a Vayu. This has to be understood, that it is universal and we cannot restrict to any Vayu. So the prana Vayu represent the inherent quality of motion, which energizes every action, from secretion of the digestive juices to the movement of our hand. They flow through all the elements, organ, and the mind. When we say through all the elements, it covers everything. Our body, entire body, is made up by 5 elements. So each micro part is made up by some elements or combination of some elements. The prana has to be there. Otherwise, we are dead. Even in the dead, there is prana, but not all. Prana is not in functional part. It's not in the energy form. A rock also has prana, but it is not in functional part, or the function is so slow that it takes many, many years to change the form of a rock. But as far as the human body is concerned, we are the only um, we are the only form of these five elements where these Vayu are in the functional form, in the energy form to the maximum level, more than animals, more than trees, more than plants, more than anything. Because um, others also have life, but this human are gifted with mind. And the mind is something which is functional because of the Vayu only. I would like to point this in inverted comma that mind is the functional form of um, Vayu or Prana at maximum. I will explain this into further slides. So the five prana maintain the balance between the physical and mental level. This is also one of the work. Their physical locations are relevant in regard to the functions of the body. However, they function more homogeneously in the subtler level of the mind. Okay, so let me. Okay, and the consciousness, where their distinctions is qualitative rather than physical. What I mean to say here is the consciousness or the mind, they are softwares. It is in invisible form. So we can only experience it and experience the quality of the mind and functionality of the mind and the consciousness. Not all the people can experience what is consciousness, but yogis or yoga practitioners following the sadhana, they can understand what is consciousness and they can experience and they can use the ability, and then further they can explore who we are, what God is, and everything. Now, coming to the first Vayu, that is Prana Vayu. As you can see in the picture on the right side, this is the part where it has more to function. It is not that this is the place where it is. It is the place where it functions the most. So Pranavayu is seated in the heart and the chest. These are the two part of the body where the functioning part of Pranavayu is there. Anahata Chakra and is the Anahata Chakra is the center point of this Pranavayu, and it is governed by the element air. So each Vayu is governed by some particular element. This is basically governed by the element air. Prana moves down and up from the throat center to the navel center and energizes, and all the other Vayus and harmonizes the surrounds. So this is the basic Vayu for rest of the Vayu, which we'll understand in coming slides. This is the basic. It has to be there to form other Vayus, to create other Vayus. Other Vayus are created from this particular Vayu. And Pranavayu is the energy generated not only from the air we breathe, but receive energy from the food we eat, liquid we drink, as well as all sensory perceptions and mental experiences. So it is not only by the air. We get this Vayu, let me explain another way around. We eat food and we drink water, and then we take oxygen from the nose. All three together create energy called Pranavayu. Okay. Hope are you getting me? Am I audible? And
Yes.
are you okay? So let me explain. Let me ask you, Josie. Tell me, how do we produce energy in our body?
How do we produce energy?
Energy in the body.
It's with the we eat the food, and the food is processed in our body, and that makes energy. Is that right?
Right. Okay. Josie, do you want to say something in some other way?
The same, and then when we breathe, also that helps the organs and the system to process and do everything. So it depends on our breath.
All right. So for your better understanding, let me explain it in my way. You are right. So you can imagine the food you have taken, and it is absorbed by our intestine. And then after absorption, the food parts, they go in all over the body to feed the cells of the body. We have many cells, trillions of cells. Each cell is demanding food, but not right in the form of food. I'll tell you. So when it is absorbed, the amount of food, like 500 gram food you ate, so it absorbs about 50 gram. Rest is out. 50 gram food, the filtered food is absorbed from our intestine, and it is supplied to all over the body to our cells. Just remember this much. Okay. Cells have received the food part, very tiny part which we cannot see from our eyes, but in a micro level. Then water is also supplied there. We drink water, and water is also went there to the cell. Now we can imagine just one cell of the body, any part of the body, just one cell. The food is arrived, water is also arrived. Now imagine you have a matchbox. Do you know the matchbox? The phosphorus box. So what we do, we do this, and the fire, we can see the fire, right? So the wood is food. Okay. And in the wood, there is some liquid which is burning. And air, the oxygen, because of oxygen, it is burning. If there is no oxygen, we cannot do this. We cannot burn the fire. What is burning actually is all three together. And that is creating heat. That is creating energy. We can see the heat because of the fire. So imagine the same thing happening around our cell, every cell. The food part is gone, water part is there, and the air, oxygen is there. All three together meets, and that burning kind of a thing, not exactly burning, but that kind of production is there, which is energy. And then, as you see, after the burning of the match stick, there is this black part, that is carbon. So that is also as a byproduct all over the body, which we take out through our breathing out. We take out the carbon dioxide all the time. All the time we breathe out, what comes out is carbon dioxide. That means so much of energy is being produced, and as a byproduct, we produce this carbon dioxide. So we are creating energy all over the body throughout the day, and through this we are functioning. And that energy is prana. Are you getting me now? So that is our main energy to live for. That is the main thing. Okay. So balanced pranavayu aids in mediating the and ideating and offers mental stability. What is ideating? This is part of our conscious. This is the functionality of our consciousness. We get ideas. Our mind functions. Okay, and also our mind is stable. When the prana vayu is stable, we get ideas. We get this ideating functionality of our mind. Otherwise, we don't. So this is very important. Why to practice pranayama? Why to balance our prana? But ideas or the main function of the mind can be there only when the prana vayu is in balance. Mental stability is there. Then only we can receive ideas. We can receive good thoughts from within. Do this, do that. So for modern man, why pranavayu is needed to have a quality life, for betterment of your mind. So pranavayu is the energy that drives the life forward, and any imbalance can lead to mental disabilities like depression, feeling low, heart and lung related problems. So we don't know, we go through all these things, but we don't know what is the source, what is the real cause. When the pranavayu is not in balance, we feel this depression. So when someone comes to me with the complaint, like I have depression problem, so I can immediately point out what is wrong with them. The pranavayu is not in balance, and as a result, there is a depression. And now we have to see what is the cause of the imbalance of pranavayu, and then fix that, and the depression is gone. So that is a long way to go. And at the end of the slide, there is a slide what to do for balancing this vayu. The techniques and it's all there. Okay. And then indications of prana imbalance: when the pathways of prana are not clear, the heart and lung malfunction, and there is a poor intake of oxygen. When I say poor intake of oxygen, when the passage is not clear inside the body will not make a good cavity in the abdomen. So as you see, how we inhale, we take our belly, abdomen out, and there is a cavity, there is a vacuum. So lung goes down, and there is a need of air through our nose. So when there is this passage is not clear, we don't create this cavity or this vacuum, and as a result, we don't breathe in properly. We don't breathe in enough, and since it is a subconscious function of our body, we don't realize what's wrong we are doing. So healthy man is someone whose passages are very clear, and then they breathe in and out subconsciously in a perfect manner, and there is no problem on the mental level. So when poor intake of oxygen at the mental level, one is not able to bring in positive impressions. They are negative, they are complaining, they always see what's wrong around, because they don't know they don't realize what exactly going on inside. So they find something as a reason for this negativity. It is difficult to concentrate or access intuitive knowledge. So as a result, people are not able to focus on their work, they don't get involved really on what they are doing. So for a yoga sadhaka, for a yoga practitioner, this is very, very important for you to work upon, to have a better meditation or go into sadhana or receive a higher mind. So the next slide is Apana Vayu. So this is the Vayu, which is the functional area is abdomen, lower abdomen. When I say abdomen, so it should be lower abdomen and the pelvic floor, the area of Muladhara chakra, and it is governed by earth element. So for a better understanding, you can imagine all the qualities of earth element. The same quality we have here because of this Apana Vayu. It moves from the navel down to the floor of the pelvis and governs the ability to eject or eliminate or excrete what is not needed to the system. So everything which is not needed comes to our Swadhisthana area in the area of our navel. And then from there, this Vayu pushes everything down through our this urine part or to the stool part. And whatever is and it is like working all the time, but it knows how to coordinate, get in coordination with subconscious mind. So it is not like we are peeing all the time, we are passing the stool all the time. It has some coordination with our mind, with our subconscious mind, when to do this. So when a certain amount of this stool or urine is created, and then certain time it works well. It accumulates in that area and that pushes everything out. Otherwise, it remains calm and quiet in that area. It doesn't accumulate, doesn't gather together and pushes. So it has a very good functionality, and with the healthy body, it functions very well. And because of our mistakes, sometimes we lose this miraculous ability of this Vayu because of our luxury living or lifestyle. Whenever we disturb this Vayu, and many people are facing problem related to excretion. So the governing part in this our body is kidney, bladder, colon, rectum, bladder. Bladder is repeated. Genitals. Apana Vayu is also the energy that governs the process of procreation. When the pregnant lady wants to deliver a baby, then also this functions to deliver the baby. So balanced Apana Vayu balances emotions and negative thoughts. If we have imbalanced Apana Vayu, what happens is we create more toxins in the body, and as a result, it is also affected in our brain area, in the mind area, and it creates like viruses in the to break the whole functioning of the mind. So we are not able to focus at all. And indications of the imbalance of Apana Vayu. Apana Vayu is the energy that moves the life forward and is known as the air that moves away, which anything, all the even bad air, which is not required to the body, is also used by this Apana Vayu, collected by the Apana Vayu, and clears out from the body. So we we clean our, we do the cleaning process all the time. Okay, so the gases we produce while creating various chemicals, also that gas is used for removing the toxins. And that is, can you see now the slide?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So indications of imbalance of Apana Vayu. So any imbalance can lead to elements should be related to poor elimination, And as a result, we can get skin problems, psoriasis, eczema, diabetes, digestion problems, menstruation problem, reproduction organ disorders, depression, laziness, tiredness, indecisive, depression, and negativity. So many of the such diseases and disorders are there because of imbalance of apana vayu. And that happens because of, again, our lifestyle, wrong food habits, and negativity, if we keep thinking negative. So when the prana is not in balance, apana is also not in balance. That is also one of the reasons. And prana is not balanced, no other vayu is in balance. And otherwise, because of lifestyle, people do not go for pee on time, do not pass the stool rightly on time, then this gets into imbalance. And also wrong food habits, eating a lot of processed food, chemical based food, medicines, and side effects of the medicines. They create imbalances in this apana vayu. Okay, the cause is there, and how to make it balance, that I will tell in the last slide. Okay, should we go to the next?
Yes. Oh, just 1 second. This apana vayu, it's not two ways. It's only one way. It only goes down.
It only goes
both...
down. It goes down. Only goes down.
Okay.
It goes not down. It goes out. It goes out.
Okay. Yes.
Yeah. And we should not make a mistake by understanding that when we grow our hairs, or we do the sweating, and we do the breathe out, and we do the coughing, that is also like cleansing of the body. But apana vayu doesn't work here. It is all the function of dhyana and prana. Okay, and samana also, and udana also. So it has a different. This apana vayu is just that vayu which excrete through our urine and stool, and also for our reproductive organs. Sometimes we use for the sex part, and also the pregnant woman when they give the birth. So these are the 4 functions I have mentioned for apana vayu, nothing else. And this is very, very important. Okay. And if it doesn't work well, then we get a lot of disorders, mainly the skin disorders. If we see the skin cells are not healthy, that means the problem is somewhere with the apana vayu, has to be fixed. All right. Now coming to the saman. Yeah.
Okay.
Coming to the samana vayu, it is seated in abdomen area, and Manipur chakra is the place area governed by the element fire. Samana vayu moves from the periphery of the body into the core. So we receive this fire energy, big amount, through the sun. Okay, so we receive from periphery, from our skin part, our outer part, we receive this energy, and we take it to the very core of each cell. And most of them, we use this energy, this functioning of the vayu for digestion of the food. Also for functioning of the big factory called liver. So liver, pancreas are very warm, and our intestine is warm, our stomach is always warm, and this, so the whole body is warm, but you can imagine this warmness and something which is not experiential as warm, but it has more capacity than a warmness experience. I give the example of acid. Acid, you have seen acid? You understand what is acid? Do you know just acid? Acid. A-C-I-D. Acid. You know acid, right? We can, if we put acid on our face can get burnt, right? Okay. So you see the acid, which doesn't seem to be hot. If you touch the bottle of acid, there is no hot, right? But inside those elements, it has something greater which can burn something, right? So this samana vayu creates those kind of things, which is agni or fire element in the stomach. When we eat food, this is something comes in our stomach. This acid comes to our stomach, which is created by samana vayu. Samana vayu is inside that acid in a liquid form. Okay, and because of this, yeah, our food get digested or put into the fragments, different fragments. So Saman Vayu, as I have written here, Saman Vayu is the energy that separates nutrients from toxins and is the Vayu that fuses, balances, and stabilizes Prana and Apana Vayu. It has to give some work to, so it's like whatever we eat is a garbage in one form, and now like we take bread and rice and lentil and vegetables and many things. So you see, you can imagine when we mix together, it is like mixing everything, and we can't see. Now this samana vayu is like separating everything in a so minute way, and then so that our body can absorb. And this is what I said in the beginning, that taking something from your stomach, sending those things to your cells. Nutrients, taking out the nutrients from this garbage and sending to the all part of the body. Okay, you understand what I mean? Yeah. So I said, when we take food like 500 gram or 1 kilogram, only 5% to 10% is the nutrients, which is separated by fragmented by the samana vayu. Very, very important role it has to play. It has other roles, but they are not very important. This is the most important role to be played by samana vayu. If it doesn't do this function well, we can get into many problems, which I will come to it. So balanced samana vayu manages the ego, mental peace, and harmony. Why? Because nutrients are our medicines. Nutrients are alkaline. If we have not taken the proper amount of nutrients, it will immediately bring everything into disharmony. Okay, either there will be a deficiency or there will be extra amount of certain thing which is not required to the body. There can be a calcium deficiency, or there can be extra amount of calcium, so our bones get into arthritis or gout or various disorders. So many things are governed by our in the body by the samana vayu. So this that fuels the samana vayu is the energy that fuels the digestive fire, liver, I already said, stomach, duodenum, spleen, small and large intestine. So main function is over here. Many people think that samana vayu is the vayu which we experience as heat in the body. No, I said no to it. The heat is produced because of the energy from the prana vayu. Prana vayu creates that heat. When the burning of those three elements, water, fire, water and food and the oxygen, that creates the heat in the body, and we maintain the temperature of 37, 38 degrees. But this samana vayu is not in the experiential heat. It is in the other form, acid form. It fragments everything, digests our food, and also creates the acid from the liver, creates the insulin from our pancreas, and also creates the chemicals from our other endocrine glands. Okay, so this vayu is not something which you can touch and feel the heat, feel the fire. It works like acid, more than fire. You can save yourself from the effect of heat, fire heat, but you cannot save yourself from this heat. Suppose there is a fire, wood fire, the wood is burning, and you can touch the fire, your hand will not burn. Got it? You can also put anything around. It will take time, few seconds to get burnt. But if you put acid on anything, it will take 1/100th second to get burnt. So it is more powerful than this physical fire what you see. Okay.
Okay. It's very interesting that when you make difference between the heat and this kind of the heat from the prana and this like this function of digesting, like samana. Yes, because we can feel the heat when we practice in our yoga practice. Yes. We heat the body from inside with the breathing, right?
Yes.
So that is prana vayu. It's not.
We only interfere in the prana vayu. Not in samana vayu.
That's great.
Samana vayu is created by our glands, our various glands, the factories. We have many factories, 9 factories in our body. So this samana is created from there, and the basic element we receive from sun energy.
May I ask something? Yes. When we are teaching, as I said to you, in the studio that we teach classes, we are teaching yoga. They gave us some things for each class, and then now we're talking about values. And I use an example talking about prana. And for the students, we cannot go that deep in the theory. We just give them a little feeling about it. So if I say to them that when the prana we can imagine as we have a plane inside, and then when we blow the air into the flame, it goes bigger. I don't know how to explain that in English, but let's say that when we breathe in, we are blowing the air into a flame, and then the flame gets bigger, and then you get more energy. That's what we are doing inside. It's not a flame that burns, but as a flame that light up. No.
Yeah, I'm getting your point, but it is all the functional. It is all the functionality of prana Vayu.
Okay. So when I said that I attached something similar than this to them, just let them know in another way, not too technical, because they don't study that, so be confused. It is right to say in this way. I'm not.
Yes, you can say that. You can say.
Wrong. Okay.
Yeah. So, indications of imbalance of samana Vayu. Well, it disturbs everything because body comes into disharmony, and we get agitation, nervousness, different kind of itching. Like if you see that some people are doing this itching all the time, the nervous system is not into balance. Like in children especially, their samana Vayu is not in so much of the balance, so they are always hyper. They are always hyper. Their body cannot function in a balanced way. They are not saying it's unhealthier. It's too much everything. So even if they eat, they digest so quickly. In another half an hour, they can eat again in the children. So sometimes we have that kind of characteristic in the adulthood also. When this harmony is there because of samana Vayu, then everything, many things gets into a problem in the body. So poor digestion, poor assimilation of the food, toxic built up, excessive gas. When the toxic buildup is there, we have this osteoarthritis, and it affects our bones, and excessive gas, constipation, diarrhea, irritable, this IBS. This IBS or irritable bowel syndrome is a very, very special disorder where nothing works. Nothing works, no medicine, nothing works. If a person gets into this problem, they only get pain in the stomach. It's incurable disease for doctors. But what is happening is the samana Vayu is not in balance. And ulcers, we have extra amount of this acid, and although we have good layer of the inner wall in the stomach to manage with the acid, but still sometimes the acid is so strong, the effect of the acid is so strong that it gives the injury to our inner wall of the stomach or intestine, and we get ulcers. Okay, and what we do usually, we treat the symptom, we treat the ulcer, we don't treat how to bring samana Vayu into balance. So we treat the ulcer, and ulcer may be treated, but it will come again in the person, because of we have not worked on the cause. We are only treating the system and the symptoms. So this is how the medical science works. They only work on symptoms, not with the cause. Okay, and in yoga we go deeper. First, we go to the cause of samana Vayu, so balancing the samana Vayu through techniques, and then also we see why this samana Vayu got into this harmony, and we can fix that. Okay, so I was reading out the ulcer, and then colitis, and pancreatitis, and then anger, aggression, depression, low energy, indecisiveness, and dullness. So all these are there as an effect of imbalance of samana Vayu. Okay. Should I go next?
Yes.
Now coming to the very important Vayu. All Vayus are important, but I give this is extra important for the people who wants to go higher in meditation or sadhana or to go to samadhi. So Udana Vayu is the seated in the throat and the head area. So this part, Vishuddha Chakra, and is governed by the element ether. Udana Vayu is the wind that which carries upward from the throat to the head and controls the extremities as well as all the sensory functions. So this is the Vayu for our sensory functions, mind functions, functionality and consciousness and subconsciousness and unconsciousness and all yogic levels of the mind. And so Udana Vayu corresponds to the throat, Vishuddhi Chakra, and third eye, Ajna Chakra. So it has the coordination between Vishuddhi and Ajna all the time, and balances the ether element in the body. Udana Vayu is the Vayu for meditation. So if you want to have a good meditation, this Vayu has to be in balance. Jalandhar Bandh stimulates the energy and movements of the Udana. And many other techniques are there, which I will share at the last slide. Udana Vayu controls the speech. So we speak because of this Vayu. Production of the sound and thought expressions. The thought is there, and the effect of thought is there on our face. So you are sitting, and sometimes your friend says, "Why are you worried?" And you have not shared that you are worried, but looking at your this expression, people understand you are worried, or you are anxious, or you are fearful. So this expression comes because of this Udana Vayu. Your cells become different, which you don't realize. No, your friends can realize more than you realize it. You see, I'm the same person. You try to manipulate, you try to bring a smile and everything, but other person understands this smile is not natural. You don't realize this, but other person realizes it. Okay, Udana Vayu controls the speech and all, production of sound and thought expressions, and any imbalance can lead to health issues like tonsillitis, bronchitis, asthma, and throat-related problems, respiratory problems. So this also has a lot to do about the breath. So how to the breath? Very important, huh? Very interesting. See, we breathe in and out, and that is the main function for living of the body. First thing is breathe. Because of the breathe, all other functioning is there. And how do we breathe? What makes us breathe is our subconscious mind. Our subconscious mind is working, so we are breathing. We don't breathe because of the conscious mind. While talking to you, I'm breathing because of my mind is allowing my belly to come out and in, and then whole function of breathing. So there is a direct effect of our mind to the breathing. If the mind is not stable, the breathing will not be stable. So the same way, other way around. If the breathing is not stable, mind is not stable. That's why we do the Anulom Vilom Pranayama, to make the mind stable. So it works both the ways. I should not change the topic, otherwise we lose the track. Let's come back. So hope you understand how our breathing is affected because of this Udana Vayu. If this Vayu is not in harmony, our main functioning of this breathing process will get affected. So beside the respiratory issues, Udana Vayu it definitely affects the nervous system, nervous health, and stubborn weight issues. So some people, you can say it also give effect to our metabolic functioning, metabolic rates. It changes the metabolic rates. Our metabolic rate can go up, can become very fast, can become very slow because of this Vayu. And when there are imbalances, then an irregular udan causes breathing trouble, insufficiency in physical and mental work, inability to think clearly and express oneself, uncoordinated speech, weaken will and lack of cheerfulness. So you can see some people with this, they have fear of going to the stage, they have fear to speak, they are nervous in front of many people. So all because of imbalance in Udan Vayu. Understand? So this is the Vayu of God, I say. If we want to connect with God, we have to improve on this Vayu. Then comes Dhyan Vayu, which is the coordinating Vayu. Dhyan Vayu pervades the whole body and is the coordinating, balancing, and integrating force that binds everything together. Dhyan Vayu corresponds to the navel and sacral, Swadhisthana chakra, and balances water element in the body. This body has 70% approximately water element, and this Dhyan Vayu is inside that water element. So water is not a dead element, it is a very functional element. In the body, Dhyan Vayu runs through all 72,000 nadis, the passage ways of prana. So it helps prana, it helps apana, it helps udana, it helps samana. All has this element. And connecting all the muscles, nerves, veins, and joints, and bringing about a sense of integrity and body cohesiveness. So this is very, very important thing. Vayu, like our blood circulation is there because of this Vayu. It's circulation of blood, circulation of nerve, neurons, circulation of many, many things which we don't have names to put upon. We are limited with the words, but we have many things going on in the body, in circulation and coordination also. If something happens to one part, other part gets affected. All this coordination is because of this Dhyan Vayu. If I have pain in my or if I have some little thing in between my tooth, the whole body comes into discomfort. You remember, if you have something in your teeth, in between your teeth, you can come into discomfort. So a small thing can make you discomfort because of this Vayu. And Dhyan Vayu, Swadhisthana by element water. Indications of imbalance when Dhyan Vayu, the expansive energy, is unbalanced. There is a lack of coordination, tremors, inability to reach out to the people, and mind is erratic. It's all like your mind doesn't function well. Your presence of mind is not there. The coordination is not there. As you see, some people have this Parkinson's is because of this Vayu is not balanced. Tremor, hands are moving. And in the old age, people are going and trying to touch some switch, and they are missing the point. They touch something else. They miss the point. They miss the target because of this. There is no coordination. Okay, so there's a lot about this Dhyan Vayu to function in the body. Okay, and then there are these 5 sub prana, sub vayus. And there is Naga, Kurma, Devadatta, Krikila, and Dhananjay. So Naga is for burping. We get burp. We get this burp. So it is also one of the Vayu. Then we get this blinking all the time is from another Vayu called Kurma. Then we get this yawning function because of this Devadatta Vayu. Then sneezing we get because of the Krikila, and opening and closing of heart waves. This is special Vayu created by Prana Vayu. All these Vayu is created by Prana Vayu. And these are something I thought to mention here. And then there's this chart. I think you are all yoga teachers, so I don't need to mention about it much, but I will share with you so you can see what are the imbalances, and then what are the practices we need to do, and what are the reasons to practice. So you can see it easily, and then think about it. Okay.
Okay. Just let me ask you a question.
Yeah,
actually, two.
please.
How because we have like Prana Vayu going, it movement in both sides, from up and down, from throat center to the belly bottom. And then Apana from the belly bottom, it only goes down. And then we have Samana, which is like a circle, like from the
No, it's not like
periphery from
circle.
the center.
No, it's not like circle.
No?
It is like absorbing this energy, samana energy from outside, and using as raw material to create the chemicals or create the acid. Okay, we receive the basic element from sun or from outside, and then goes down for functioning many ways in the factory of liver, and then creates the bile, creates the thyroxine, creates the insulin, creates all these things. It works like in acid. So it is not like moving all the way. It is functioning only in your stomach, duodenum, large intestine, small intestine, and our endocrine glands.
All right. So yes, I'm gonna ask you, how does the Udana and Dhyana, like, how do they move
Udana
into
is
these
only,
parts of the body? Like,
Udana is only this part, our head part, space element. Space element is only in this part. It has nothing to do with the rest of the body.
Okay.
This function, because it is like in computer we have a software, in mobile we have a software. This software is, the basic form of the software is space. Software is functional but is invisible. It is the space energy. Okay, it is the ether energy. Okay, and it's only experiential. Like in the electric also, you cannot see the electric, but you can touch and feel the shock. Okay, so it is, that is also space energy, created by the space energy. Okay, so it is like software. It's no hardware. And Dhyana is water. It's like inside the water, and it is moving everything together. It coordinates. It connects all part of the body. Not all. It's not like, it's not connecting all vayus. It is there in the body, not the vayus. It's not connecting the vayus. It is functional in all over the body, connecting various organs, affecting various things, and expressing things. And I can explain more about it. I need more time, but I think this is enough for today. I would give these thoughts for you, and then later you can connect with me to talk about any Vayu. I can give explanation for each Vayu for 3-4 hours.